Hello students, welcome back to the video series of Python programming. I am your instructor Shweta Yagnik, and today we are going to see OOPS concept in Python, that are inheritance, and we are going to explore the types of inheritance. So the first topic, what is inheritance? So as the name suggests, inheritance means acquiring the property of one class into another class. Now the class from which the properties are being inherited is called a superclass or a base class or a parent class, and the class which is acquiring the property, okay, which is reusing the property which is already developed in the parent class is called a derived class or a subclass. Okay, so this is the relationship, and the inheritance enables us to do the reusability. Okay, so the whatever is already defined and tested, we can directly inherit those properties which is already tested. So it increases the reusability. Now in order to define the inheritance, we write in base class in a bracket, okay, into the derived class. While we are defining the derived class, we write base class in brackets. So this is the format that we are going to see shortly in the practical. So the next thing is the types of inheritance. Okay, so these are the all relationship possible in inheritance. So the first image depicts that class A is a base class and class B is a derived class. So this is a single level inheritance. Now second, multi-level inheritance, that means there are layers. That means B is derived from A and C is derived from B. So this is multi-level inheritance. So C is acquiring property of B, which is the direct parent, and also C is acquiring property from A. Okay, so this is the multi-level inheritance. Now next is hierarchical inheritance. So A's property is derived by B and A's property is derived by C. So this is called hierarchical inheritance. So next is multiple inheritance. So as the name suggests, multiple means the class C is acquiring property from A as well as B. So it is having features of both the classes. Now next is hybrid inheritance. As the name suggests, it is the mixture of all possible kinds of inheritance. So now we'll see how to implement inheritance. Now let's define a single inheritance. So here we have already defined one class called animal, and in which we are having one method which is already defined called eat. Okay, so now that method is fully defined. Now we want to inherit this method into the derived class. We want to acquire this property. So we are having a class dog, in which as per the format we need to pass in bracket the name of the base class. So here animal must be passed. Now within that I'm defining one more method which is belonging to the dog class. Okay, so dog class will have its own method as well as the method which is derived from the base class. So here suppose bark and self. Okay, so now we have defined the method. Now we want to access it. In order to access the method, we need to have the object. So here we'll be having object of derived class. So d.bark, that is quite obvious that the method will be accessed using the object of its own class, that is D, which belongs to dog class. So yes, it has accessed the method and executed. But now I want to check what is the usage of this inheritance. That means even if the dog class is not defining this property called eat, whether it is accessible using the object of the derived class, that is D. So let us check d.eat. So now we'll see whether this method is accessible or not. Yes, it is. That means the inheritance works. We have implemented a single level inheritance. Now we'll define a multi-level inheritance. As the name suggests, the class which is deriving its property from, suppose C is deriving property from B and B is already derived from A. So here we are already having a dog class which has been derived from animal, and we'll be having one more class called puppy, okay, which is derived from dog. So this is multi-level inheritance. So as of now you can understand that puppy is having wag method. It is also acquiring property, that is method bark, from the immediate parent, that is dog, and it is also having access to the method called eat from the parent's parent. So let us see whether it is able to access it or not. So here we'll be declaring object of puppy. We keep the name same of the object, but just I am changing the name of the class, wag. Okay, let us execute it and see. So yes, it is able to access all the methods. So this is an example of multiple inheritance. Now we'll see the concept of polymorphism and method overriding. Okay, that means a method which is already defined in a base class, and the same method, that is name and arguments are same, and we are redefining into the subclass. Okay, base class is already having one method, and the same method we are redefining as per the new requirement into the subclass. So let us see. Here we are having a base class. The object here passed over here is a system defined object. Each and every class is inherited from the system's object class. So even if you don't write, it is completely fine. So next, this is the constructor of our base class. So accordingly message is displayed. Now display is the method of the base class in which a message is properly written so that we can identify where this method is defined. Now we are having over here derived class. Now here in brackets we have passed the name of the base class. This method is also having constructor, okay, and it is the displaying, the message is displayed something like this is the constructor belongs to derived class. Now here the polymorphism, or you can say method overriding case is displayed, where display method is redefined into the derived class with a proper message. Okay, so now here we are declaring a object of derived class and we are trying to access the display. Now here the question is which version of the display will be called. We are creating an object of derived class and we are trying to access the method using the object of derived class. So let us execute the code and see. Okay, so this is derived class constructor, because here we are using the object of derived class, and same way derived class method is called. But now if we want to access the method and the constructor which are defined inside the your base class, okay, what is to be done? Okay, so in order to access the base class constructor and method, the word here we use the inbuilt method called a super. Okay, so in order to call the appropriate version of the base class in a derived class, we'll be using super method. Okay, and within super method, as per the format, first parameter should be the base class name. Okay, I'm sorry, the first parameter will be the derived class name whose super constructor we are trying to refer. That means derived class super class, okay, that we want to access. And what we want to access in that, we want to access its constructor. The similar way it goes over here, where derived class, this is our subclass whose super class is the base class that we want to access, and its display method we are interested in. Okay, so the first parameter is derived class and second parameter is the self, your reference variable, dot the name of the method. This is what the format of the using super method. So let us execute it. So yes, how it is flowing. Due to this, the control goes into the display, and within display, because of this line, okay, because of this first line, superclass display version will be called first and then derived class method. So these two lines, I hope you have understood it, and similarly the constructor will be called. Now we will see how to initialize the instance variable of the base class. In order to do this, we'll be using the concept of parameterized constructor. Okay, so here father is the base class, which is having a constructor having two parameters. First is a reference variable and second is f property. This f property indicates that it is the property belongs to father. That's why I have given the name f underscore property. So we have initialized the property as per the parameter, and we are having the display method. Now we are having son, which is derived from father. So son is the subclass and father is the base class. So it is also having the constructor, and it is having total three parameters. First is a reference variable default, and second is s property. That means this parameter will belong to the property, will initialize the property of son, and f property will be passed to initialize the property of father. So let us see, we know in order to call the constructor of the super class, we'll be using super keyword, and first argument will be the name of the derived class whose super method we are interested to call in. Second is the self, the reference variable, dot. Here we'll be having the method which we want to call. Here it is a constructor and the parameter that we want to pass. So it will perfectly match with the number of parameters of the base class constructor. So secondly, its own property, that is s underscore property, which is the property of son, will be initialized with the s underscore property, which parameter you have got. Okay, now these two, and here display method is also having a super method call, which used to call the display version of the father. That is display method which is already defined inside the base class. So the first parameter is the subclass, and second parameter is the reference variable and dot method name. So next is the object that we have created using son class, and two parameters we have passed, 2000 and 3000. Here we mean that 2000 should be initialized for the son's property, and 3000 figure should be used to initialize the property of father, that is f underscore property. So display will, due to this display, this function, this print statement will sum the two properties. That means 2000 plus 3000. So let us see what is the output. So yes, son's property, the total property is its own property plus father's property. Next type of inheritance is multiple inheritance. That means one is derived class, that is acquiring property not from the single parent class, but it is having more than one parent class, that is multiple inheritance. So here we can see father is the base class, mother is also base class, individual class. As I have said earlier, you can omit writing this object because each and every class in Python is derived from the base class called object. So it is perfectly okay if you don't write it. But yes, for son, you need to mention what are the base classes for this. So here, instead of having only single parent, we are having two parents, two base classes. Okay, so mother and father, and it is also having this is the method which is unique to the son. Okay, we are not giving any definition because there is no fruitful message to be typed over. You can simply skip it. So we have skipped the definition of display, and we have created the object of son class. Then we have tried to access the color which belongs to mother class, and we are trying to access the method called height from the father class. So let us see this, whether it is working properly or not. So yes, so we can call both the methods, obviously, because it is acquired, class son has acquired property from both the parents. Now we'll see very important concept of Python, that is MRO, method resolution order. Now why we require such method resolution, why we require this concept, is because in polymorphism, when we are overriding method multiple times in subclasses, we need to know in which order the method will be called. The name suggests method resolution because the name is same among the classes, okay, the derived classes. So how to resolve it? So here we are having one example, class A, and it is having a display method. Class B, which is also individual class, okay, it is having a display method. Now class demo, which is having which is inheriting from multiple classes, that is B and A. Okay, so let us see first of all in what order the method will be called. So here we are defining object of D, object of demo D, and we are calling D dot display. So let us see what it is calling. So yes, class B is called. Okay, now why it has happened? Because demo is also having method from class A, which should give me this message, but it is not doing that. Now why it is happening? So this is because of MRO. So let us check it. Each and every class in Python is having a method called MRO. So let us print its output. So here we have demo dot MRO. Let us check it. So yes, in output we can see the list which shows the hierarchy. So first is demo. Demo is derived from B. So in hierarchy it is its first class from which it is deriving is B, because this sequence does matter. It is from left to right, it will be resolved. Okay, and then A, and A, which is individual class, is derived from object. Okay, so if we just change from here, that is A and B. So now what do you think, what will happen? So here if I execute it, you can see class A's method, that is this display method, will be called. This is just because of the MRO, okay, the resolution order. So here, as you can see over here, the MRO is giving list where after demo in hierarchy class A comes. That is the reason. Now if I just change over here from show to display, so this is again what I am doing is overriding in the base in the subclass. I am overriding the method which I have already acquired from the parent class. Okay, so here I have used the same name. So now see what is happening due to this change. So yes, this is the class demo. This method is only called because in hierarchy it will give priority to its own method with its own version of the display. If you want to make a call to its parent, then you need to use super, that we have already seen in previous session. So that's it for this session. I hope you have enjoyed the concept. In next session we'll be learning further concept of OOPS. Till then, happy learning.